let me know you can see this one, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Should I stop this, sir, or should I?
Yeah, you can stop, sir. Okay, your wish can stop.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just wait 2 minutes and then we'll start.
Yeah, Dr. Sandeep, your voice is a bit low. I think
Actually,
just
there
check
is some
once.
problem.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm trying my best. Sir, this lecture, actually previous 2 lectures also we have uploaded in our IEEE Vizag based section website, sir. Actually, that is linked with the YouTube channel. Okay, today's lecture also, if you wish to upload and if you with your permission, we can upload the same there. And there is no mandatory. It is up to you, sir. Actually,
You are welcome to do that, sir. That's not an issue at all. Is it on YouTube, sir?
Yes. Actually, our IEEE Vizag based section has a YouTube channel.
Okay.
So in our website, we will give the link. So that will lead to YouTube actually.
Oh, fantastic, sir. If you can share the links also, it would be fantastic, sir.
Yes, definitely. It is there in our website, IEEE Vizag based section website. After now, I will put in chat box also once when the session starts, and even I can mail you after the session also.
Sure, sir.
Okay. I think we will start. I think slowly. Yesterday also slowly this audience has joined. Okay. Yeah. Dr. Shankar, shall we start? Hello.
I'm fine, sir.
Okay. My voice is okay, little bit.
Yeah, it's quite feeble, but it's okay. I mean,
Okay.
I just lend my ear to your voice, but
Okay,
it's
sorry, actually. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Shankar. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, then we'll start. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now we just pass 3 minutes. Okay. Okay. Good evening to all of you. Today's session by Mr. Sanjeev from Bangalore, and today's topic is entrepreneurship and innovation. Actually, this series of lectures, what we have done couple of lectures yesterday and the day before yesterday and today also. Actually, this is the thought and then discussion came out between us actually primarily with Mr. Sanjeev only. So he only proposed this idea. So rather than doing one lecture and one talk, so let's have some kind of series of lecture in connection with some kind of a beyond the talks actually. So people, student community should be introduced to the innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups, and where they will come up. They should come up with their own ideas, and even they can also collaborate with industry partners. So they can part and are on board of the different research projects where industry is carrying out. So this is a way. Initially, we had a discussion, and he only connected other two speakers, previous two speakers yesterday and day before yesterday, and today final talk is giving by himself only. So I would like to thank you very much, sir. Actually, so and you have taken a lot of interest, and then efforts you are putting to bringing a lot of expert and connecting to our student community to NIT Andhra Pradesh as well as other student communities of various engineering colleges in Andhra Pradesh. And this activity is being conducting by IEEE Power Electronics Industry Applications and Power and Energy Joint Chapter in and NIT Andhra Pradesh. So as I mentioned in previous lectures also, so there should be some kind of outcome of this series of lectures, and then that should be communicated with the student community. So maybe sir, once this talk is over, maybe we will continue to discuss maybe further days also, and then who are participants, we have the data of the participants also, their emails, mobile phones, etc., and we will communicate to them actually how they can participate into our different types of projects, and they can be associated with our as well as academic community as well as industry community, like. Okay, so this is a background, sir. So this is all we know, we already discussed it. So this evening I warmly welcome you to deliver the lecture on entrepreneurship and innovation, sir. Thank you, sir, and I welcome all the participants. And now I request Dr. Ashwin to give a brief introduction about today's speaker. I think Shankar sir, actually you should unmute Dr. Ashwin. Actually, people are locked actually. Yes.
Yes, sir. So,
Yes, please proceed.
on 1 minute, sir. So, good evening. So, today's expert Sanjeev Kaushik, sir, on behalf of IEEE PES, PELS, and IES Joint Chapter. So, I would like to introduce Sanjeev Kaushik to the participants. Sanjeev has worked with Thomson Reuters and Dell for over 11 years in senior roles responsible for operations, process quality, and people. He is alumni of IIM Bangalore with executive education on general management Sanjeev is also a passionate entrepreneur who with his Mobi Trolley team built a retail analytics product on top of SAP HANA platform. He was a SAP startup focus program member for a couple of years, experiencing product management, pitching, as well as marketing on products. In 2017, he joined IB Hubs as an operations head, explored synergies with vast network built, including educational institutions and corporate during startup journey. He is now advising on mentoring startup funders, including e-mobility startup, and supporting educational institutions to help students to go in entrepreneurship path. He is also an advisor to suryakranti.org organizing member, which helps students and entrepreneurs to build solar electric vehicles and identify the right product to participate in Bridgestone World Solar Challenge competition to be held in Australia during 2022. So Sanjeev sir, so thank you very much. So now over to Sandeep sir. Sandeep sir.
Hello.
Sir, Sanjeev sir, you can proceed.
Oh, is it? Okay, I thought it was Sandeep sir. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sandeep sir and Dr. Shankar, is it, sir? So for the warm introduction. So it is really my pleasure to present to the NIT AP students and the IEEE chapter of Andhra Pradesh, Vizag chapter. So I will actually share the presentation. Let me know if you have any difficulties to actually see this. You're able to see this? Okay, anybody has any difficulty? Is it
yes, we are able to see. We are able to see, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Go
Fantastic.
ahead. Your voice is also clear.
All right, sir. So let me confirm this. Some of the images that I've used in this presentation is from unsplash.com. It is where you can take download free photographs. It's a great website which has got a lot of photographs for free, and you can use it on your presentations as well. So I've used that, and some of the graphics that I've made in this presentation is mine, and couple of photographs are from one is from Tesla I have used, and other. So that is just information because this video will be on your YouTube channel as well. So that is why I made this confirmation. Okay, let me begin. Entrepreneurship and innovation. I believe a lot of you would have been already hearing these buzzwords. Entrepreneurship and innovation, it's been there since so many years, and most of you already know how to go about it. Entrepreneurship is basically the person who actually starts to build a product and then tries to builds a company as well, and tries to take his company to ensure that it goes something where people innovate, right? Do something new to actually change something which is already existing, and bring a positive vibe within the company, within the the ecosystem, so that they can grow, not alone, but also with a group of other companies which are following in that path. Okay. So opportunities are like fishes in the river. So I believe you would have seen a lot of cranes actually within the river, and they'll be finding out fishes in the river, right? So I've just taken that analogy actually to say that most of the entrepreneurs are trying to catch the fishes in the river, but instead, that's the bird's job. But our job is actually not just catch the fishes, but actually innovate, try to find new with us, with the people, and try to actually talk to them and then convince them so that we can build fantastic products and sell it to the potential clients or the customers. So what do you require in these areas are, of course, people are the key. So you need to have people with you to build a prototype and then sell it to the clients. So people are the key who will help you to take it to the next level. And of course, all sync up together in order to build technology. Right, technology is crucial. I mean, it's not just the software technology as such. Anything, even mechanical, it also includes technology as well. If you are building a hardware, so if you're connecting two things, then it involves technology as well. Even if it's as simple as fencing, the tools that you use, the products that you are using are all technical, right? So all that requires technical aspects are ultimately called as, from the higher level, are called as technology. Okay. Then ultimately, when you are able to sell, when you are able to build a prototype, and when the product is actually made, and if you are able to convince people to buy that, then you are in the business, right? Until then, you're just building products which nobody else might be caring about, but still, there might be some section of the people who be waiting for you to sell the products to them. So that also happens. Okay. So between people and technology, there are emotional thoughts, branding, marketing, sales relationship that you want to build with your potential customers. So internal customers are those who will be working with you. So first, as an entrepreneur, you have to sell the ideas to your people first, so that they understand the idea from the emotional perspective. So they get attached to that idea, and then thereby, you automatically start try building as a team. You feel the significance of building a product as a team, and then you start building it. And then once it is built, then you start talking to the potential clients or the users or the customers, so that you can sell it to them, thereby building the brand, the strategies for marketing, and then eventually when you sell the product, it will be sales relationship with them. So process thoughts will be tech and business. So wherein, when the business grows up, then that becomes a part process. It is operational. And then, certain departments have been built so that, sections of the product is divided into those departments. And of course, services is also part of this process. And then sales is also part of this process. So all that thing uh, are included in that particular section. And then finally, functional thoughts. The function becomes a function when all these three sync up together. And finally, innovation happens when all these three come together, and for a purpose to actually change something, to do better things, where you also include customers, and then build better products so that they can use and they make it viable for you. So all that you require is two people for a startup. So one is a builder or engineer, and the other one is a seller or marketer. So you can start with two. Like Apple started with two people, right? Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Google started with two people, Sergey Brin and other person. So most of the companies have started with just two people, and then in a garage, and then they are now $1 trillion companies. Microsoft also has a similar story. So, we don't need to go deeply into that. But even Ola Cabs, if you see in India, they also started with 2 or 3 people in a small place, in a car parking space in an apartment. So then they are now more than $1 billion company now. So this entrepreneur. And then think how it does in particular product. So they will be thinking more about the product. Then they implement the process around it so that the idea will be implemented across their customer base. So now for this, they do a lot of brainstorming, and the brainstorming sessions would be, it would be helpful as they actually allow different viewpoints amongst all the um, team members. So if you see if you hold those meetings with your team members, then there'll be different points of view, so that you can actually collect those point of views, note it down somewhere, so that eventually some of the best ideas would be incorporated into the product. And then when the product is built, and when the prototype is built actually, and it is shown to the potential customers, they like it, and if they pay for it, then you are in the business. Then that actually creates varied possibilities wherein you explore those, and then uh, make those possibilities as opportunities for yourself. And then uh, so find out more details about it, so that the possibilities with the opportunities are synced up properly. So now, rules for brainstorming, right? Hello? Hello?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Okay, you are able to hear me now?
Now yes, we are able to hear you.
Okay, okay. I was wondering, I didn't get any voice, so that is why I thought if somebody is able to hear me or not. Okay. Uh, so rules, I was in, shall I continue, sir?
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay. So I was just talking about
Sir, I am not able to listen your.
So some of these points, actually, I'm just rushing through. I just had some emergency message, so that is why I was concentrating there. Sorry for that. Apologies. I guess. Just give me 2 minutes, sir. I'll just be back. I'll just be back. There was some urgent emergency message. Hello. Hello. Sir. Sir.
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
Okay, sir. I'm
But
sorry.
sometimes, your voice is breaking.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, there was some urgent emergency message I received from my parents, so that's why I had to go otherwise. Sorry, sir, for that. Just continue. So one should stay on the topic while we are discussing on what to innovate, what is the idea all about. So we will go through that in detail. So we should keep the record of all the quantity of ideas that we might have from each of the members, so that that can be implemented into the product later. And we shouldn't judge anyone's assessment or ideas, so that if we get judgmental, what happens is it becomes one-sided, and only one person's idea want to be implemented means it's not fair for the other team members who gives the ideas, right? Because everybody wants to contribute eventually. Now, so for bringing in the proper ideas, so one has to conduct a proper research. A lot of methodologies out there. You can talk of content available in the internet as well as to what kind of need to do building your right to the product. So all that is there. So finally, once you are ready with something, then you have to formulate as to how you have to make this thing up. Then while you're doing, you should use all your research methodologies, the formulations that you have made, so that you build a prototype properly. And then eventually, you have to act accordingly, so that the prototype is actually made into a product, and then you are selling it to the customers, so that every team member gets motivated to build the business eventually. Most important characteristics of the entrepreneur would be that he isn't an opinionator, right? So you don't need to have an opinion on everything. You shouldn't be judgmental. Of course, you can be a little bit, but it's not compulsory that you need to have that kind of characteristic at all. So then you're a risk taker. That is to the high order bit actually. So you understand what are the opportunities and take risks accordingly, so that and reduce that risks eventually. So thereby, how do you reduce the risk? Thereby, you build a team who can actually build the products out of the ideas that you might have, and then eventually take it to the market as well. and when it is sold in the market, when there are customers buying you, when there are customers paying you, when there is a lot of money in your bank account, and you are expending that money for the purpose of flourishing your business and actually diversifying it, then you are having a good business. You will be moving beyond a startup and become a larger company in the future. So that's how the commitment will be shown. And this person is of course the innovator, because once you do these kind of activities, you are for innovation. You will take it to the next level. You are a marketer who will sell the products. Then ultimately you will be also tagged as a problem solver. So to summarize on that particular part, identify the problem, build team, find a solution, discuss with the team members, find a solution, then along with the team, the solution, ideation of the solution is happens when you figure out that the customer is in need of your product, and then that there is a solution for their problem, and they love to actually give you money for that, and then build your business. So then ideate the prototype and design the prototype. Finally, once you actually sell it to the clients, it becomes a product. Until then, it's in the prototype stage. So once it is a product, and you have been paid for it, you start implementing the product that you have designed with the clients. Okay. So students can be involved in identifying the problem and building the team. So that is the crucial thing. A student can actually contribute in the entrepreneurship journey, and then finding other opportunities, ideation of the solution, ideation of prototype. They can't do it by themselves, but they need to involve all the key stakeholders. So any student, anybody who is not even a student, can also start a company, and then start. So don't start a company, but just build the product first, see if there is a product market fit, and then start a company. So that makes more sense for you than just actually building a company first and then start thinking about what kind of solution we can give to the clients. Okay. So you have to validate at every stage, like when you are exploring opportunity, when you are designing the prototype, and then while implementing as well, whether there is a need for this product all throughout. So we will discuss that in detail as well in the future slides. But this is how you will be focusing on more often. Okay, I've just divided the, and then you are an entrepreneur when you do all this stuff. Okay, so that you get the money, and then you start making money. Once you start making money, you also think about how you can make more money. What kind of product engines you need to create, so that is built within the help taking the help of your team members, and then ultimately how you can acquire more customers, and how you can sell more of your products to them, and how you can get more money from them, and then how you can increase the stakeholders investment value to the company. All that thing will come in afterwards. Okay. So while you're selling, you have to definitely create a buyer persona, wherein you will understand what type of customer you sell. And then this is mostly for B2B side. B2B is business to business. So of course, even on business to consumer, you can create all these, but more useful for B2B or B2B2C as well. There is a segment. So you have to find unavoidable problem, and then capture the urgent needs of that particular customers, and then find the market. Once you analyze the market, you go and start selling it to them. Okay. So how do the startups perceive about the startup growth, right? So they think that is just one line, one line which will go upwards, but that is not true actually. If you see, the startup growth would be more likely to be like this, which has got all the hurdles, ups and downs. So we also call it as near death valleys. All that will be there. You'll face a lot of issues. You'll face a lot of hurdles. You'll face a lot of other things as well. Most of the times the startup means that it will meet its death also. But how do you sustain that? How would you make sure that it, even if it is going in that particular direction, how would you come back? So all big entrepreneurs have actually done that, and then they've grown big. They have made their companies, $1 trillion business as well. So everybody, you can take them as inspiration. Then you can go ahead and build your company as well if you are already thinking about it. So you don't need to get scared about this, but this is a reality that you need to know, and then you should. Once you know the reality, then you can actually put forth a lot of risk factors into it and try to see how you can mitigate those risks for the future. Make sure that the risk is reduced to a greater extent as well, because there are a lot of learnings out there on each of the product companies. You can there is a lot of case studies out there as well, so that if you are building a technology business, you can identify those. You can look into case studies. You can identify the problem faced by the entrepreneurs and try to fix those issues that they have faced as well. If you one or two in your journey as well. So that's how it is actually. This is how Microsoft started in the initial stages, right? Windows 3.0 workspace was looking like. So this the image is taken from Wikipedia. If you see, even Apple began like that. So this was the Apple's UI interface. And Alta Vista was the first search engine that we all know. It was started in 1995. Yahoo started in 1997. Then came in Google. So Yahoo was there in 1995 as well, but ultimately they projected, they tried to actually purchase Google, but they were not able to do that for some reason. Why they rejected it. But now, where is Yahoo and where is Google? Google is already at more than $1 trillion business company actually. So now we have Tesla. So this is the second car which made them successful. This is Model S. I believe you will be you have done a lot of research on this, so you will come to know that. Yesterday also, Mr. Murli gave a lot of insights on Tesla and the other electric car industry. So please do your own research as well. You will come to know more about it, and you can also look into Tesla patents as well. So that they have made it open source. So you can look at it and not the design part of it, but at least look at what are the components have gone into it, etc. So that you can take appropriate actions for you to build something great that will be helpful in India. Okay, so this is another innovation from Tesla. From this, what do you see? Can anyone just mention that? What do you see this as a innovative one? I'll just give you 10 seconds. Okay, I'm not sure if you have done research on this, but here you go. This is the vehicle that Tesla had invented. Okay, this is called Cybertruck. You can actually Google it and then find out what the one of the best innovations for pickup trucks in the US. So normal pickup trucks were totally different. Were looking totally different. If you see, compare Ford F-150 and Cybertruck. So Cybertruck has a different innovation altogether. So I believe there will be tremendous opportunities for students like you to look at these kind of vehicles and innovations, and then you can build it on your own. Okay, and there will be the education institutions like NIT would be definitely helping you a lot, and would take you to a greater place where you want to go. So giving you touch points on these so that you can have a look at it. You understand what are the components that are there. So in an electric vehicle, you see that you can divide it. Right now, I have just divided this, but there are so many other parts. There are 10,000 unique parts, more than 10,000 unique parts in an electric vehicle. So, and each of you can focus on building some of it, right? So these are the innovative parts of an electric car. In battery system, you can, there is cathode, anode, electrodes, electrolytes, all that is there. So you can actually consult your chemical engineering professors as well. And then probably some of the students can actually set up a battery management system. BMS is what we call it as. And then some of you can actually work on battery packs, and some of you can actually work on the control system that can be included. That is also a BMS, a battery management system, which actually collects all the data. Some of you can actually work on thermal management system as to understand how the heat exchange happen, and what is the kind of coolant that needs to be used, so that when the battery is heated up, so that it can be cooled down as well. So all those things you can actually look into it, and then you can start innovating on that front. While the chassis, you can also see steering, suspensions, brakes, exhaust, car body, all that thing comes into this section. Even on the drivetrain, you can see electric motor, which is brushless, direct current motor, and permanent magnet, synchronous motors. There are asynchronous motors as well. Induction motor is there. So I believe you can do a lot of research around it, and then try to see if you can contribute in any of this. You can be a startup just making a electric motor, just making a power controller. Fantastic, right? If you are for differential calculations on differentials that can be actually used for creating torque or RPM, all that. So you'll be able to if the software is doing the real good job in doing that and then controlling the vehicle, then you can be a $1 billion startup over there as well. If you're making axles, wheels, then probably you'll be able to help out the potential car makers, and maybe you'll be a company that can be acquired, or you might not be a $1 billion business over there, but at least you can build fantastic products, innovative products over there as well. So even on the body parts, the aluminum towers, regenerative braking is more common in all the electric vehicles nowadays. So you need to actually think through how you can improvise already what is being given in the US and other foreign countries. In India, Tata, Mahindra, all these companies, they are using regenerative braking. Even the Ather, they are using it in the two-wheelers. So the aspects as well where you can keep focusing on, and then actually build for your own benefit and for the benefit of the whole country. So key things that you need to actually look into is we call it as 8 whys. And I'm just giving you a quote. If I had asked customers, they would have said, I need a faster horse, right? So what do you need? So Henry Ford's statement, this is more than 100 years ago, when he said, if I went on asking the customer as to what would they need, then they would say a faster horse, because at that point in time, nobody knew what they want, right? They were all traveling either on the bullocks or the horse, etc. So he invented 4-wheelers, and people started working on it. So now for that purpose, keeping that as a main thing, then you should actually ask, why should I build something to someone, right? So what is the purpose behind it? And once you define the purpose, then you should ask a question as to why is it now? And then why you? I mean, what is the skill that you bring in? You may not have the experience in what you are entering into, but you can still ask, am I capable of doing this? Can I build a team who can actually work on this? Can I build the relevant process around it so that it is implemented from the leadership team to the operations team as well, and then eventually it becomes a predictable business, and my customers actually encourage me so that they can pay me for running my business. So those things, those are the three things that you need to focus first. And then once you have answers for this, then you have to create 5 whys for you. So let's say you come up with a problem, you have defined all the 3, and for example, you come to know that there is a problem that your car doesn't start, right? Then if you ask a question as to why it didn't start, you understood that the battery is dead, right? And then the second why, if you dwelled a little bit deeper into it, then you understand that the alternator was also not working. And then further, when you went, you found that it was the alternator belt that broke, and you asked the question as to why did it break. Then you found out that it was not replaced on time. You found out that it was an old one. And then you also identified, when you asked the further question, so you understood that it wasn't given for service for 2 years. Of course, you will come to know that it is already, without giving service, it doesn't work, right? So you will have to keep giving your car to the service all the time. However, these 5 whys also would help you once you derive that there is a problem that I need to work on. Okay. So here is the testing process that you need to actually look into. It is from Strategyzer Value Proposition Canvas. I've given the link as well. You can actually go into it and then understand how the testing process is conducted at every stage. It can be by building the hypothesis, or what kind of test you need to do. This is basically a software one, but this is the same implemented in building hardware as well. So AI is the key. You can include it in all the products that you build. I believe you would have done some research on Tesla as well, because Tesla uses neural networks, algorithms, image vision, the Internet of Things, and a few other stuff as well. So they have connected every part of the car to the software, so that it tracks every bit of it and gives update to its owner. And also, some of the data is being tracked by the company, so that when the accident happens, they'll get to know why the accident has happened. And they are also using autopilot. Today, they are also letting the car go by its own from one place to other. So they call it as fully self-driven chip that they have included, FSD chips. If you can search Google, you'll be able to find out what is FSD. That is the best power controller that any of the companies have made in the world. So that controls the whole car, and they have the appropriate software to actually that is not. AI is something very crucial for you to learn, to focus your learning on, and then that will be implemented in most of the products in the near future. So you should focus on that as well. So entrepreneurs build communities. you know, so competitors, customers, suppliers, employees, all that should be taken care by the entrepreneur. So you need to make sure that you really create that kind of culture which would enable all your competitors, customers, suppliers, and employees to be more free to innovate and to progress further with you. One second, what's happening? So these are some of the points. You should challenge the work people with different cultural background to work on the common ideas and make it impactful in the future. So thereby, when you challenge everybody, so you're also parallelly building the communities, and as a leader, you ensure that the communities are built so that it's not just reaching your base, but also the product that you build reaches goes viral and reaches the other communities as well, and they and along take the product to the next level and build the company, and then take it to the next level, probably go globally as well. Okay, so now. So you actually manage networks rather than hierarchies. Networks means it's not the computer networks as such, but the network of people. So make sure you have the right. You talk to the right people all along, and keep them informed on your progress, and include them, embrace them, include them, so that they also want to contribute for you in the future. So some of those points come in. Cooperation is the key, and then you should also students should be students should be given all the strength so that they should innovate from the education institute through the education institution itself, so that they build the companies, they build the start. Then they build the companies for the future, which creates job employment opportunities to other students within the education institutions as well, and grow the economy of the country. So the different was think different that was shown by Steve Jobs from Apple, but during 1990s that was a fantastic campaign. However, being different is not construed as only an thing, but it has come mainstream now. You as an entrepreneur, you are expected to be different. So and over 50% are 30 years of age, under 30 years of age. So as students, have to a lot of initiatives, take a lot of initiatives, and go and build a startup and build a global business. And let us know what you're working on. If you have worked and if you have actually tried to sell to potential clients, we are there to help you out in many ways as well. But go ahead and build that kind of a business. So this is basically journey. So I'd done this probably a few years ago. So I don't, I had it in the PowerPoint right now. It's just the image that I could capture for you. So you start with an idea, tell it to your close friends, then you connect with all the other intellectuals, try to pitch your ideas with them. So build, once you get some feedback, build concept as a team. Then you show the concept to the customers. You have already talked to them earlier, but you just tell them that I built a prototype for you. Can this solve your problem? Then they will give you some feedback. So gather information from them. And then So if you see it from the customer lens, how do you see it from the customer lens? Because you are a customer, you can be a customer yourself. However, when you talk to the lot of users, you can see it through their lens, and then when they give you all the feedback, then you actually work on it and make sure that you iterate in that process and build your prototype to the product. Then Jai Ho is where you get to you'll get the clients by validating it, and when you're selling it to many, then it catches the eye of the investor community. Thereby you can also raise money for further more product which can actually create more revenue for you. So thereby you can classify it into different categories. What kind of product line, what kind of products fit into what kind of product lines, and then bring the customers to your mainstream. Afterwards, you can either plan for an exit or probably go for an IPO, whatever makes sense. Will be helpful for you and the company as such. Okay, so here are a few of the activities that I want you to take away from this particular session. So here is the activity 1, and that is identify 10 issues concerning around your idea. Let's say you have an idea and you're talking to the team. So write down the 10 issues that you want to focus on. And there'll be, out of 10, there'll be, let's say, 5 fundamental issues that you would really want to attend for it. Eventually you can go ahead and do it all by yourself, but still, this can be a base for you. After that, try to find out what are the realistic problems. Maybe when you have identified 5, you can probably see there are only 2 or 3 realistic problems that you would really want to work upon. Once you identify problems, to make it as one particular problem, and then for that particular problem, try to find out 10 ideas that can solve that particular problem. Okay, and then from solution, 10 ideas that you think that they are solutions, take top 3, which includes these 3 aspects: desirability, feasibility, and viability. Desirability is for people. Can you really sell? Do you have the real skills? Do you have what do you the right team members to do the job? Let's say there is an engineer who can build something. If there is a software engineer who can actually support that build, if there is a marketer who can actually help you market that particular product, if there is a finance person who can collect who can collect money from your clients. So all that comes under desirability. Feasibility happens, what kind of technology that needs to be used over here. From the hardware front, it's what kind of the raw material side, right? So all that needs to be thought through, and where should I actually how should I put these things together, integrate things together so that I can build a product, is what would be a feasibility study. And where should I sell is also one of the part of the feasibility study. So marketing is also included into feasibility. And then the viability comes into place when you have done the work for desirability and feasibility, and viability comes in when you are in the process of business, where the customers are ready to pay you for the contribution you are making that would help solve their problems. Okay, and once they start to pay you, your business becomes viable within the market. Part is start the art of talking to and convincing them to join you in your journey to make the product bigger, to build the company, to get into the growth phase of the product of the company, and help them and help you to become bigger in the world. So this is activity number 2. Please focus on some of these key points as well, wherein so again, we talked about customer persona, who will be your potential user. You have to blueprint the prototype, write it down properly. Every portion of it needs to be written in one place, and then have constructive interaction with your potential customer. Thereby, you show the blueprint as well. Sometimes you need to show to them to enable them to think about, okay, these are the some of the students or some of the good people who are trying to help us out in solving our problems, and then design use cases accordingly, because once you get more feedback from the customers, you define the use cases, how your product will be used by the potential customers. After that, plan to build the prototype, then simulate that. So once you build the prototype, you have to pitch to your potential customers, right? So you tell them that, okay, you have given me the scenarios, I'll build the product, and these are steps 1 to 10, how you will be using this product. So that becomes the simulation part. So try to create that mock-up simulation, and then do the role plays. Try to engage your clients in such a way that it is more dramatic in nature as well. It need not be totally dramatic if your product works really well, but at least if you add some drama, if you make it like a scripted movie as such, then it would be more appealing to the customers as well. So they would say yes to that, because they have given you the set of points which would be the problems that they are facing on a day-to-day basis as well. Okay. So then, testing is the key thing. So you have to evaluate and test. So you also create the mind map, mapping the users and user aspects, creating the priority linking, ranking, all that you have to do. So through this mind map, you will also come to know that what is the important thing that you need to focus on, and what are the least things that you can put it into different phases for the future. And then so once you have done that, you create a storyboard wherein every part of it is put into the storyboard, so that in case you part, or if there are certain risks that are emerging, you actually note down all these points, and it would be helpful for you to create a better products for the future. And thereby, when you are actually also telling stories to your customers, this storyboard will be super helpful for you. So of course, storytelling will be the ultimate part, where you tell your potential customers how you have built your product and why they should use your product. So this all comes under the marketing strategy of all companies, where when they are selling it, so they are not now they are not selling the products as such, but they are giving you this of why the product was built, what kind of problems customer were facing, and how they are able to solve it through their solutions. So any of the product demos you see, right from Apple to the startups that are presenting their presentations in a lot of conclaves. So you will find these are properly meticulously followed. Okay, now I'm just showing a video from Electric Factor or Electric Fusion. Actually, it's the link is below in the YouTube as well. So this talks about the World Solar Championship that will be held in Australia for solar vehicles. So just go through this once. This is part of Surya Kranti, where I mentor and help the students to build for this, so they can actually attend this competition as well. I just go through this.
Teams gather here in Australia across the continent from Darwin to Adelaide. the scorching desert sun, back in 2013, a new class of racer was brought into the competition, the cruiser class. Whereas previously, the race was simply about building stripped-down single series. Now designs are walking through vehicles which would carry passengers, with additional points scored for practicality, passenger cars which can perform under normal driving conditions. Consistent winners of this class have been the evolving Stella students from the University of Iowa, a team from which Lightyear sprang in 2016. This young startup is one of the most prominent automotive companies pursuing solar-powered vehicles. Engineering competitions and fueling innovation for consumer products. As the lessons learned in the playground of the Australian Outback have been incorporated directly into Lightyear One, the first car offered by the company, which sports 5 square meters of integrated solar cells along its low, sweeping roof and hood. Lightyear One reevaluated every component of the car and used lighter materials like aluminum and carbon fiber to build a lighter vehicle with the best aerodynamic coefficient of any car on the market. Independently driven in-wheel motors also lower the car's weight and improve powertrain efficiency. In an interview with Automotive EV Magazine, CEO Lex Hoofstra described the positive feedback of the weight reduction. By concentrating on efficiency and lightweight, we can use batteries that are about half the size of the half the energy consumption of an EV segment. We have a battery pack that is 2/3 the size that of a Tesla Model S, and we can drive further than the Model S, up to 800 kilometers with good sunlight and a minimum range of 400 kilometers. Air conditioning, all being used in doing high-speed driving. Stop-start, initial acceleration, advanced power, and waste energy demands, typical of urban low-speed situations, whereas the power required for overcoming air resistance increases proportionally to speed, sapping energy at high speeds. Solar charging therefore depends largely on how you use the car to balance the energy usage. As Hoofstra notes, the Lightyear One is an electric vehicle capable of 250 miles or 400 kilometers of high-energy use driving, even at night. It is expected to achieve a rated range of 450 miles or 725 kilometers, even without its solar panels, truly in their 1.25 kilowatts of power, which the company equates to 10 to 12 kilometers or 6 to 7 miles for each hour of charging. Driving. Self-charging is primarily a highly capable battery electric vehicle. Lightyear points out that this solar charge adds up to 10,000 kilometers or 6,200 miles of free motoring per year in the Netherlands, and up to 20,000 kilometers or 12,400 miles in sunnier regions like Australia or California. Lightyear believes that by eliminating the steps between sun and wheel, it should be possible to gain overall efficiency. Lightyear, as Tesla did before them, are starting at the top of the market, coming in at a premium price point of $170,000 for their first full-size luxury car, with future plans to release smaller, more affordable vehicles in the future.
So that was Lightyear One, which actually participated in World Solar Championship in Australia, and they have built a solar car. You saw that car. Actually, they have actually gone to the second level as well. So they were students who built that particular car. Now they are already $1 billion business. I think they have got a lot of investments from Amazon and a few other bigger venture capitalists as well. They have come in. So if you are keen in working on that as well, do let me know. We can help you out in many ways. So yeah, thank you. And if you have any questions, do let me know. Hello.
Hello, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Actually, it is a really nice session, and actually, you have covered a lot of aspects and elements of entrepreneurship, and then how the individual has the capacity can start his own come up with the idea and then convert the idea into business model and then convert into big company with a lot of examples he has explained. And also, you talked about brainstorming, session, how it is, important in the business model and, networking and all. So a lot of, main components of, entrepreneurship and innovation that you have discussed. So really, it's nice, sir, actually. And now I request, the participants to interact with the speaker.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Participants, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and you may ask.
I think these are the topics where it becomes boring online, sir. Mostly, if we are talking to the students in a particular class, right? The hundreds of them will be there, and we discuss with them face to face. Them would talk with examples as well. That would be more fun. But online, I believe, it's kind of a boring topic.
Okay, it's not boring. It's interesting anyway. And note what and
Okay, sir. If they don't have any questions, it's okay. Maybe we should actually sync up and see what are some important business ideas that the students might have,
okay. Yeah.
so that we can think around. We
Yeah.
can actually, if you want, then I can give some time
Yes, sir.
for.
Yes, sir. Sir, what I can propose one idea, sir. Actually, in view of
Sure.
this series of lectures, what we had 3 days from as an outcome of these events, maybe we can propose for a call of ideas, actually innovative ideas from the student community. Okay, and if you could suggest us, in what format they should submit their ideas, like only title, some kind of with abstract or some what kind of elements that idea should have it. Okay, so if you could share that format, so I can ask the student community to submit their ideas in that format, and then we can proceed discussing with them, and then we can improve their idea, and we will see how we can take it that idea into like further stages and all.
Yes, sir. Sure, absolutely. I don't know how many people found this presentation useful, sir. But I would be more than happy if students come out comfort zone and start building their companies. So that there is a lot of help out there that as a team we can actually do to ensure that they build their lovable products that they want to do. But they have to take that action.
Yes, yes, yes. From the participant, I request, is there any such kind of idea do you have, participants? And what kind of support and what kind of mentorship the participants, if they require, please open up, and we will help you, and then we will try to explore the possibilities to associate with you. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, sir, no problem. I
Okay,
think they are not opening up now, but they might be eventually.
Yes,
Yeah, I think somebody raised their hand.
Uh-huh. Who is that?
Someone raised their hand, I guess. Okay. Anyways, fine,
Okay,
sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Fine. And shall we close the session, sir?
I'm fine, sir. I mean, yeah.
Okay. And then we'll discuss, tomorrow, sir. Actually, I'll call you. Okay. So we'll discuss the further steps.
Fantastic, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everybody's time.
Yes.
And I hope, you can take some decision to move into the entrepreneurship path and innovate to build fantastic products that can be used in India as well as, in global as well. Thank you. Thanks for your
Okay.
listening to this presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, I request Dr. Shankar to propose the formal vote of thanks for this event.
Good evening, all. I, Shankar Pedapati, happy to propose a vote of thanks in this event. First, I thank Mr. Sanjeev Kaushik for delivering very informative lecture on entrepreneurship and innovation. I thank Dr. Lakshmi Narayan Garu, Chair IEEE Vizag section, and Dr. C.S.P. Rao, Director NIT Andhra Pradesh, for continuous encouragement in organizing the series of events. I thank Dr. Abraham Varghese, IEEE PES, IAS, PES joint members Dr. Sandeep, Dr. Panu, Dr. Ashwini, and Dr. Vakla for their continuous support in organizing this event. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Shankar, sir, you can end the meeting.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.